we're just gonna hop into this one because, well, you'll see. This is Combat Overview. In this series, I go over the general controls to the game's main mechanic or mechanics, who or what we use those tools on, and then seeing how it all comes together. Bit more in depth, but that's what we do. Okay, for show and tell, I brought with me Onechanbara. Now, I'm gonna list some stuff off and you tell me what comes to mind. Stylish female lead protagonist, where enemies want nothing else but to lay a finger on them. Two-player co-op action right from the start. Speaking of which, multiple characters to use have their own playstyles. This includes a grappler, gunslinger, and katana master. We got Hayabusa's head chop. Two weapons to swap between either a single or double katanas giving different moves. One has a mix of CQC and gunplay. Can juggle with pistols. Can even dodge sideways and fire too. And in single player, you can swap between those members on the fly. There's even a switch out and incoming attack like it's some fighting game. And speaking of fighting games, the side bench character will actually heal great health. There's loading screen mini games between missions, which actually gives you upgrades to use. A quick motorcycle section. A perfect dodge to slow time, letting you enter back. Our dodge actually stores our place in our combo to start where we left off. Taunts are here too, and they'll outgrow enemies. Got stingers, launchers to affect enemies to either crowd control or set up combos. A neutral kick for quick spacing and guard breaking. Forward kick to punch them away, and a sweep for those low profiling enemies. Two different aerial attacks, a version for rising and one falling. We got delay pause combos. Even timed inputs to do more powerful versions of your attacks, sometimes leading into different enders. Numerous unlockable cosmetics for each and every character. A blade resource management thing going on, so the more and more zombie goo that soaks your katana, it'll become weaker, so you need to wipe it clean to restore it. You can also cancel into it, doing some quick repositioning while managing this meter. It's a multifunction to it, right? Repositions, cancels, and maintains meter. There's milestone quests like number of kills and stuff like that. After every kill, they'll drop these XP yellow orbs. Okay, no, we don't have ultimate techniques here sadly, but that would have been pretty crazy. Yeah, after each stage, you'll get to choose where to spend them, like health, damage, and so on. Plus the end result score rating system afterwards that'll convert your score into currency to upgrade yourself. Sizable interconnected maps based on lock and key exploration. Survival mode to fight waves of curated groups of enemies. Practice mode to lab combos or pick a specific enemy to study on, or how much health you have, or how much meter you got to use on something, or maybe change the enemy's AI if they're aggro or just standing still. Or even show the timing combo meter to just stop with combos, kind of showing frame data. It might as well be a fighting game training room, honestly. There's even DLC adding bosses as playable characters too. Speechless, right? You're probably thinking this must be some kind of masterpiece of a game. Everyone missed out somehow in this wonderful genre we love to discuss these sorts of things, but this is just Onechanbara doing its thing. And in my opinion, they should be seen as a pillar to the hack and slash, hyper action, combo oriented, stylish slasher genre, or whatever you want to call it. All you need to know is that it has so many ideas and content to look into. And real quick, Samurai Squad on 360 and the follow-up Zombie Slayers on the Wii came out in 2006 and 2008, years before the other major action games. So all the modes and mechanics showed up here first. Well, from my life's journey of exploring everything the genre has to offer, this is the place where the ideas came in droves. And it was probably because of limitations and small budgets, probably led them to be more creative for its time and say, to hell with it, and try whatever they wanted. But again, these are budget titles. Keep that in mind. But yeah, they only got more and more features as they went on from the PS2 days all the way up to the Wii. Just constantly building upon their base each and every time, which is pretty cool. Alright, so this is easily my longest intro ever, and pretty much the entire video, honestly. Yeah, I always wanted to put a spotlight on this series the best I can because I do have a lot of respect for what these games do. Yes, the ideas were done way better in later games, but I've been really wanting to start the conversation of remembering Onechanbara as one of the greats for its creativity and the sheer amount of content they had day one. Plus, I want to give myself an easy bday week, so there's that too. Exactly why this is pretty loosely structured and a little more casual this time around. But to tell you the truth, this game and series in general does have interesting ideas, but do not execute them too well. So it's more interesting to learn about them rather than play them. Because on paper they sound like they're the next possible coming to the genre, but they really don't live up to it entirely. Because with what we have, it sounds like you gotta play it right now, right? But you fight zombies. They're slow and pretty much non-threatening. I really like that a budget action game went all out with every ounce of effort into it, but you can be the most complex game ever, but if the things you fight aren't interesting, then there's no point, because there's no meaningful back and forth. So enemy variety is super important in action games, and sadly that's one of their biggest flaws. And yeah, that's Onechanbara. These games have some great ideas, but never had the time or resources to flesh them out. Kind of spitballed ideas into the games and call it there pretty much. And they just let others pick up where they left off. But I can't lie, the controls for these games are not the most responsive, especially the Wii game having to do real slash movements to launch or do stingers, becoming crazy tiring over long sessions. Enemies are lackluster, so they don't play around your toolset, having to do perfect dodges, or sweeps or guard breaks or launchers to do some on-the-fly situational thinking. Zombies do what they do and kinda just stand there. These games are real budget, you feel it, and you see it. But you can't deny that they aimed to get A+ in a class that you really didn't need to pass. They had ideas and went through with them as far as they could with what they had. And that's why I have a lot of respect for these titles, because they really show what action games could and should have. Because again, put things into perspective, a budget title has multiple modes, multiple characters that you can customize in a few ways, and cool mechanics we'd like to see before they were standard. So if they have so much to offer with very little to work with, then other devs should have this as a benchmark at least, to have all this content for replayability that casual and experienced players can enjoy. Because if this so-called slocky, fan service, budget, double A tier, clunky clone of a inserted game here can do all of this, well, there's kind of no excuse for others not to bring their A game, no matter what too. Because of that, I'm gonna need everyone who calls themselves an action game fan to pay some respect to Onechanbara. It started with such a solid base day one and builds upon it fast. And we had mechanics before they are titans in the genre did. And for some reason, everyone just instantly sandbags it. But no longer. Today, that all changes.